What the fuck? I'm sorry if you like. This is not your cup of tea. Stop talking about politics. First of all, fuck you. This politics is everything, and if you want to be apolitical, you want to say stop bringing up politics all the time. Brother, everything is political. If you give a shit about anyone other than yourself, everything is political. So maybe we need to, stop being so bloody ignorant about shit. Let's read some text. I need to log off first of all, but I also need to just do something other than rant. So what did we do last episode? That's important. We talked to a dude who definitely voted for Trump, by the way. We had a very long argument with him. We told him he was a bigoted cunt, a reactionary freak, all of those descriptors, and I'd say it was timely, but I mean, it's timeless. Of course, there's fucking Republicans in rural Texas. And then we felt really bad about it afterwards, not because we were mean to him, but just because we made zero difference and we're just a little ant in the universe. And, I don't think anyone's ever felt good about themselves after getting into a screaming argument with someone they've never met. And then we stepped outside and it's dark now and there's stars and the music is calm. So yes, this is going to be a calm episode. Hello. It's Pretty Eyes, another Silver Juice song. Obviously, the lyric in that song, as you say, stars are the headlights of angels, driving to meet us. They're driving from heaven into our eyes, which is a fucking amazing lyric. So yeah. Cher and Logan stand by a mysteriously decrepit shed, chatting amongst themselves and don't notice your intrusion. That could have gone worse, I think. That's for sure. Isn't raining like last time either. I was expecting to come out into the night and be drenched. Right? If there was a tornado, it sure as hell didn't bother paying us a visit. Yeah, we were in the bunk because of the tornado siren. There wasn't actually a tornado. Well, there might have been, but it didn't hit us. Gia finally turns in your direction and gets a fright as she realizes you've been standing there this whole time. Goodness. You're very good at sneaking up on people. That's the second time today. She's lucky you're not a serial killer. Yeah, don't say that. Hey Des, happy to be out of that basement finally? Yeah, I don't feel anything anymore. I don't know. Could be lying face down in a gutter right now for all I care. Shit, you were pretty fired up earlier. What happened? You can't find the words to describe it, so you say nothing at all. Yeah, it was a pretty serious case of self-reflection and emptiness. Shame we never finished our card game. Probably should have expected as much with you and my dad sitting opposite one another. He's a known shit stirrer. Fuck him. He's not a shit stirrer, he's a bad person. I don't know why I bothered trying to argue with him. All it did was make me feel like an idiot. Forget about him. You're never going to get along regardless of what you did or didn't say. For what it's worth, Des, I think you were right to stand up to him. Maybe you stepped over a line or three, but it's about time someone gave Ron a little pushback. You didn't make a difference. He was a cunt before he met you, and he'll continue to be a cunt after you're gone. It's going to take a lot more than a little opposition to change a man like him. If anything, you just pushed him further right. Anyway, enough about Ron. I'm tired of hearing about him. Des, where's your tow truck? Yeah, where the fuck is the tow truck? That was why we're here. I have no idea. Maybe it got sucked up in the tornado. That's the only reasonable explanation as to how it's taken so long. I'm sure they're still coming, and if not, well, I'm not entirely sure what happens then. You're all sleeping in the streets tonight, buddy. It's gonna be a long, cold night. You peer up to the sky and notice all the stars. At least you'll have them to keep you company. The Geoff sees you looking up and does the same. Lovely night. It's not usually this clear. Oh, there's a satellite. You look to where she's pointing and glimpse a blinking light flying across the sky. You get to thinking about how mind-boggling it is that humans have managed to surround their planet with thousands of these invisible marvels of technology. And everyone just accepts that as reality. Yep, there's a satellite up there. Why wouldn't there be? Ah, no. Sorry, the satellites just reminded me of Elon Musk. Yeah, look forward to that, guys. Elon Musk, he's still alive. I mean, if Kamala wins, there's a good chance Elon Musk might kill himself. Well, guess what? He's not killing himself, so we're stuck with him. Another blinking light enters your view. This one sounds an awful lot like a plane. There's another marvel of technology. A flying car that holds hundreds of people. If you tried explaining that to someone born 2,000 years ago, they'd probably crucify you. When I was deployed, I think I counted every single star up there. Oh, I still do it occasionally. Really meditative. Can you point out Mars or Venus? I've heard you can see them without a telescope if you know where to look. Dunno. I never actually learnt what I was looking at. No library in Afghanistan. They're all just little lights to me. Everyone an incomprehensibly large ball of flaming hydrogen. The thought leaves you dejected. The universe is too big. It's not fair. Now, what about you, Des? Do you know what you're looking at right now? You didn't hear a word she said. You were too busy wallowing in your own despair. It's not fair, he says. Too fucking bad, little man. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Did you ask me something? Can you see Venus? You look back to the stars and search for a Venus-shaped light. Turns out they're all Venus-shaped. I can't see it. I don't know where to look. Maybe Earth is facing the wrong way. Yeah, we'll chalk it up to that. The three of you fall silent. You think you can hear the sound of a truck approaching. Oh, could it be? The engine draws near. You see a pair of headlights pierce through the dark and illuminate the Texas flag mural. Unfortunately for you, this truck is not of the touring variety. It's just a regular semi. You watch as it continues through the intersection and then off into the void from whence it came. Guess not. You don't even know if you want the tow truck to come anymore. If it comes, you'll have to go home and return to whatever life you left there. You don't want that life. You want a new life. Fuck it, you want a new planet. You need to be somewhere where it all makes sense. Earth ain't cutting it. Kinda late, isn't it? You know what, I'm gonna head off. I gotta eat some dinner before my routine gets all out of whack, you know? Of course, don't let us keep you. Right, night, Lucia and Des, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for reading my autobiography. Don't forget to buy it once it's out, yeah? Yeah, of course. Thanks for giving me a sneak peek. Yep, see you later. He turns and runs at full sprint toward his trailer. You're left alone with Lucia. There he goes. You will never see that man again. That's not a nice thought. Did you expect anything else? Well, how are you feeling about life, Des? Little time has passed now. Any better? You can lie. Don't feel bad. It will hurt less if you lie. Think I'm on the up? Yeah, let's lie and say we're on the up. Suppose I'm not crying anymore. That's a good sign. Don't get ahead of yourself. You'll be crying again sooner or later. Probably when you go to bed and can't sleep. That's when it's the worst. Thanks, Lucia. You're taken aback by the answer. You knew she was honest, but goddamn. Oh, sorry. Who knows? Maybe you won't cry again. Deep down, you know she was right the first time, but you're not in agreement anyway. You have very expressive eyes. Has anyone told you that? Not those words. People often say I look like I'm about to cry, or that I have puppy eyes. Ron certainly noticed it. Is that what you mean? Well, yes. I suppose puppy eyes is a good way of putting it. You're very easy to read. Right now your feeling is obvious and does not need further discussion, but on other occasions. Maybe this is why you avoid mirrors all the time. Listen to me. I don't know what I'm saying. You can interpret it however you want. Yeah. Puppy eyes, that's good. Frankly, Lucia, I'm flattered. Good. Great. I'll accept that interpretation. There's an awkward silence. You turn to look at the old shed beside you. Painted on the wall is a peace sign. Looks like it's been there for a while. Yeah, what's that? You know anything about this building? What's with the peace sign? Gia laughs nervously. That. Would you believe me if I told you it was my doing? Sure. You always struck me as a hippie. Yeah. She's way too progressive to be anything but a hippie. Was I ever? That art piece was teenage me's way of letting off steam. The owner of the building, like dead now, was a bit of a bad man, shall we say. I had the idea of turning his little shed into a monument of love and peace, and so it was. That's so cool. I'm at a loss for words. You are cool as fuck. I was thinking exactly the same thing when I did it. Age has certainly mellowed me out a bit. Funny that. She pauses to deliberate something. Oh, to be young again. Would you like to hear a secret? Is that even a question? Lucia looks at your super duper expressive eyes and gathers as much. In my teens, I kept a journal. It was filled with all your typical angsty puberty things. Plus a lot of poems. They were especially terrible, so don't ask me to recite one. Shut down. There was something else though. At the end of every day, I would write down a message for the future me to read. And at the end of the message was always the same line. Never forget who you are, Lucia! Exclamation mark included. Teenage me was deeply afraid of growing up. She knew who she was and she wanted to be that person forever. Yet here I am, old, mellow, and definitely changed. It's quite sad, really. All those messages didn't make a difference. She shrugs. What went wrong? I said I wouldn't change who I was. I made a promise and I broke it. I know you can't stay a radical teenager forever, but why not? I think life might have beaten me into submission, and I never even knew it was happening. Has that happened to you yet? One day you just wake up and realise you're not who you thought you were? You struggle to think of a response. I'm not sure what compelled me to throw that into the wild. Did it even make sense, or am I rambling? Too much sense, Lucia. It really did. Jesus. Again, you're at a loss for words. Clearly, I've moved you. Good to know this thought isn't specific to my age bracket. I think, yeah, we're ahead of the curve. Yeah, what the hell happens, people? Radical teenager into whatever. I think I've hammered on this point pretty often throughout the game of you get old and you mellow out and you basically become that thing that the teenage you would have hated. Like with Lucia, she was a hippie. She's not a hippie anymore. Why not? Why can't she be a hippie forever? And you might say, well, that's very naive to think you can be the same thing forever, but why not? What's wrong with that? Very, very depressing topic. But also relevant. Everything is relevant now. What the hell happened? You really bring out the pessimist in me, Des. It's a very interesting quality to have. Yeah, I know. It's been known to happen. I've been described as a black hole of joy. Come too close to me and just like that, poof, it's all gone. I wouldn't describe it in such scathing words. You just, I don't know. It's who you are and that's alright. You struggle to wrap your head around that. You need to be told if you're good or bad. Anything in the middle is too difficult to comprehend. Lucia seems to realise this. I think, more than anything, it makes you interesting to talk to. You're unafraid to be a little sensitive. You're willing to show people your vulnerable side. Good. Good, yes. Is that an acceptable answer? I had a hard time framing it in a positive light. Yeah, that's great. I heard good and I was overjoyed. Thank you. That was easier than I expected. You nod profusely and put on a serious expression. Lucia tries to hold in her laugh but fails with flying colours. There's something about your face that cracks her up for whatever reason. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's your face. Maybe it's your face. What? Just kidding. It's your face. Anyway, she shifts her weight from foot to foot. This is the part of the conversation where nothing is left to be said. It's a terrible place to be. You want to hear a voice, but you can't bring yourself to be that voice. Lucia isn't going to say anything either. There's a gunshot, far, far off in the distance. Lucia has no reaction to it, and you take that as a sign that nothing is out of the ordinary. Gunshots in the distance are to be expected here. You look back up to the night sky. Something about those stars has you fixated. You rack your blank brain trying to understand why. Here's why. How the fuck does anything exist? The idea that there's a universe with rules and a passage of time is almost impossible to accept. What came before this? There had to be something. And what about a boundary? If the universe is finite, then there must be something beyond its boundaries. But if it's infinite, then... well, that's just insane. It's no wonder people turn to religion for answers. The truth makes no fucking sense. Yeah, I can't deal with this right now. That's alright. You wouldn't be finding any answers even if you weren't. So I can still be a scientist, even if I'm emotionally unstable. Read a history book and find out. There's bound to be some pretty mad scientists out there. The most obvious example being Oppenheimer. I mean, he wasn't mad, but he seemed pretty depressed. Des, as much as I'd like to keep standing out here with you in silence, I ought to head home. It's a little late for me. Inevitable goodbye. God, this is awful. I hate saying farewell. Curse the person who made it unacceptable to simply walk off without saying a word. What, yeah? Why don't you just say goodbye? You're hurting my feelings, Lucia. Sorry, but I know you know what I mean. Silence returns. You might have to be the person to say goodbye here. Actually, no, this is not goodbye. What? Why is that? Because you haven't even left yet. That tow truck is yet to arrive. It would be awful rude and slightly awkward of me to just go to bed and leave you standing out here in the night. You didn't think it was rude, but you keep quiet. I'll wait until you leave like a good host. I think I see Sally and Jesse sitting out by the gas station. Why don't we head over there and see what they're up to? They might actually be leaving for real very soon. Hey, why'd you change your mind? You sounded like you were ready to ditch me just then. Oh, I'm not sure. Come on, let's say goodbye to Sally. Okay. Alright, that sounds like a reasonable idea. Very reasonable. You're left slightly confused, because she really doesn't want to say goodbye to you. Nevertheless, you follow Lucia as she walks over to the gas station. I think there's something over here I can do. Is it? Yeah, it's still here. Remember we kept coming over here. We did it at the start of the game. Take a sip of the long neck and then we hit the chalk. Jesus loves us. Wonder what the next one's going to be. Fuck. That's a bug. There's a bug in my game. There's a bug in my game. Nah, that shit happens all the time with the decals. When you add a new decal to the sprite sheet, it basically like replaces the last used one, which was that one, so it got replaced with the one that's in the church, which is not good. I wonder if we can still go in the church. I don't think I have okay, good. There's a few like things that I just forget to test, like disabling certain doors that you shouldn't be able to go in. Like you shouldn't be able to go into the gas station right now, because why would you be able to? There's nothing in there. When technically there is, but you know, it just doesn't make sense in this context. And like disabling doors and interactables and all that stuff at the right time can get pretty overwhelming. So you got to be very careful. And like then I've just found a bug. which I guarantee not a single person has played the game and found that, because it's such a specific like secret. Like, you do it once and then you just never go back, because why would you go back? There's no reason to. But whatever. I'm just waffling about shit that doesn't really matter. Let's talk to Jesse and Jesus and gang. Song title, To the End. Who the fuck sings that? Blur? I think that's a Blur song. Yeah, it's the one with like the French lady. That's a nice song. That whole album is good. Park Life. I'm more of a fan of Blur's later stuff, you know, when they got all sad and shit, you know, they're self-titled, 13, even Think Tank. I actually like Think Tank a lot, even though it's barely a Blur album. It's more like a Gorillaz album, because it was made after the Gorillaz debut, and it was like after Graham Coxon had left the band, so yeah, it was very much just a Damon Albarn project, but it's still good. But that's not to say Park Life isn't also an amazing album, and that song, To the End, banger in the loosest definition of that word, because it's quite emotional. You approach Sally, Lucia and Jesse with her cardboard cutout of Jesus. It's quite a perplexing sight. Jesus doesn't bother greeting you, nor does Jesse. Sally is left with the honour. Look who's returned. Breathing that fresh air, Des. You do as she says. It smells like gasoline and burnt rubber. I wouldn't call it fresh. Oh, I know. I was just being a little tongue-in-cheek. I'm in that sort of mood tonight. I gathered. What about you, Jesse? You were awful quiet over at the church tonight, not like last time. I think Des kind of filled my role. I managed to get my classic fuck off in though. Still waiting for Ron to go and do that. One of these days. Sally tries to hold in her laugh and fails. Yeah, I'm going to apologise. I feel like that's the right thing to do. I'm going to take this opportunity to say sorry for derailing that game of poker earlier. I probably didn't need to go off on Ron like that. Nah, he was asking for it. I was bored of the card game anyway, don't be too worried. Okay, well, I can call him a shitter then. It's reassuring to know that I'm not alone in my hatred of the man. You lot have known him longer than I have. What's his deal? There is no deal. He's just a bigoted loser. We're in Texas. There's like 10 million other white 40 to 60-year-old guys you can mistake him for. That's an oversimplification. How are you going to defend the man? You told him to go fuck himself as well. Yeah, guess I did. But I don't like to pigeonhole people, even if they suck. Stop being a contrarian, Mum. Nah, I'm with Jesse here. Don't even try and defend him. There's really no point trying to unpack the mystery of this guy. If someone acts like a bad person, they are a bad person. Whether or not his character has depth isn't really relevant. Everyone has depth. Not everyone is a bigot. Whoa, this is weird. Not used to having someone side with me. Rather than arms. Real, recognize real. Cringe. Ouch. Something about that word is just so painful. Especially when it's said by someone younger than you. The pain is actually proportional to the age difference. Sorry, that was harsh. I can be a bit of a cunt. What's your language? Goodness me. I'm just playing to my audience. Des doesn't give a shit, and Lucia is too nice to tell me off. You don't bother giving an opinion on this. You love to have opinions, but parenting opinions are a whole different ballpark. It's like a minefield out there. Yeah, it is. Alright. Just try and give your profanity a little more finesse. That's such a vague term. Give me an example of finesse. Sally is stumped. She wasn't prepared for a demonstration. Lucia jumps in for the rescue. How about this? If you use profanity all the time, it loses its punch. You need to pick and choose your targets and save the word for moments when it really calls for it. Take me for example. If I said, she hesitates. If I said, fuck, you'd all be shocked, because that's not something I'd usually say. She said fuck. Whoa, you're right. I just felt a shiver down my spine when you said it. Maybe I ought to heed your advice. Ah, not likely. Nope. I don't know where she got it from. Not from me or Sugar, that's for sure. I'm a child of the internet. Is it really any surprise? She seems proud of her heritage. Des, are you a child of the internet? You're almost in that age bracket. This is one of the few instances where I let you choose Des's past. But I think it's just a nice, like, it's inconsequential. And they all make sense within the context of the game, so it's not like super... It's not going to change anything, but it's fun to, like, given all the context you've been given up until this point about his character, you can sort of make an informed decision. So, is he a child of the internet? I'd say sort of. I feel like he was just on the cutting, just right before it started. I discovered the internet around the age of 10, so I missed out on a lot of the formative years. I think the first thing I ever did on it was get a virus on LimeWire. I was trying to download the latest Smashing Pumpkins album. Probably for the best that didn't happen, seeing it was absolute dog shit. Which album am I talking about there? I think I'm talking about Machina. Maybe Machina 2, I don't remember which one. Either one, I listened to both for research and they fucking suck, so you can heed my advice on that, don't listen to them. If you want to listen to a Smashing Pumpkins album, go listen to Gish, Siamese Dream, Melancholy, and maybe Adore if you're feeling really, I don't know, if you really, really like them, but you don't have to listen to Adore. I'll pretend I know what any of that meant. Yeah, let's give a history lesson here. I can explain it to you. It's quite fascinating. Early internet was like the Wild West. Nah, I'm okay. The internet in its current state is okay for me. Lately all I've been using it for is space facts. Space facts? Why? Wouldn't have a clue. It's just the sort of thing that interests me as of late. I cannot speak today. I'm just so filled with rage. You want to hear some? Yes. Give me your best space fact. Right. Did you know the closest star to us is roughly 4 light years away? Yeah, I did. I did know that. Kind of sad, isn't it? You and me will both be dead and buried long before humans ever reach that place. Yeah, that is sad. I don't like that fact. You want to hear about Leica? Your heart stinks. Trick question. I'm not telling you about Leica. Fuck, I might just start crying. Who's Leica? I'll let you find out for yourself. Come on, just tell me. I'm going to tell her. Leica was a dog, and also the first animal to orbit Earth. The Soviets sent her up in Sputnik 2, and she never came home. Early space exploration was cruel. Oh, okay. That is sad. You look to the night sky. It'd be nice to imagine Leica is up there somewhere, resting for all eternity in the stars. But you know for a fact her remains burned up on re-entry, along with the capsule she died in. The thought drowned your spirit. She was all alone. She would have spent the final days of her life confused and afraid. All in the name of progress. Oh no, here come the tears. There he goes. See, Mum, this is what happens when you learn about Leica. Despair. You turn away embarrassed. The tears don't last very long, but goddamn do they hurt. She never had a fucking chance. Okay, I think I get it now. Des, are you okay? Totally. I'm good, just a little sad. It happens. Jessie understands. Big girls don't cry, but yes, I understand. You wipe your tears and turn back to face Jessie and Sally. You're a big girl, and big girls don't cry. Okay. Right, no more Leica. Change the subject, please. Whatever you say. Say, Jessie, seeing as you seem to know some things about space, could you point out Venus? Des, Logan and I were looking at it earlier, but we didn't see it. Jessie stands up and spins around a few times, scanning the sky. After the third rotation, she raises her hand and points to an inconspicuous patch of stars. If I were Venus, I'd be right there. That seems like a good spot to be. You look at the spot. You have a feeling Jessie is taking the piss. If you were Venus... Sure, Jessie, maybe you could be a planet in your adult life. That sounds reasonable. Beats being an accountant. Yeah, I was an accountant. What do you mean? You know, Jessie, I used to be an accountant. Really? You didn't seem like the type. Wait, this explains so much about you. What does that explain about me? Never mind, forget I said that. Your mind rushes to find an answer. What does it reveal? The reason you're so boring? The reason you're such a cynical cunt? The reason you'll never find a soulmate? The possibilities are endless, yet none of them are good. Go Des, accounting's hard out. Did you like your job? Yeah, it was whatever. It sucked. But almost every job sucks, so I guess it was just alright. I turned up, did the same shit every day, then quit once I realised it made me want to kill myself. God. All three of those options end with you saying, I quit once I realised I wanted to kill myself. Yeah, but you just said it was alright, what? Ah. Yeah, maybe it wasn't alright. A better way of putting it is that the job sucked me of all life and hope, then filled that empty space with a dark and evil substance that made me yearn for a long and deep sleep at all times of the day. Poetic. Mum, poetic? Very poetic. Nice work, Des. This isn't the response you're expecting. Usually when you tell someone you want to commit suicide, they're dumbstruck and at a loss for words. At least Lucia seems to be having that response. Well, you seem better now, right? Yeah. Am I? Who knows? You can't really comprehend how terrible you feel until a few years down the line. Often I've reflected on a specific period of my life, and only then realised how miserable I was. Curious stuff. I could say I'm fine today, but would I be telling the truth? Maybe my brain is too afraid to face the facts. That's horrible, Jesus Christ. Interesting paragraph. I don't know if this makes sense, but this is like a thing. I don't know if anyone else experienced, like, you kind of live through horrible times and then you look back and like you knew they were horrible times and you knew you weren't having a good time while you were experiencing them, but then you look back and you're like, holy shit, I was miserable. That was not a good time in my life. And it's like almost like a maze that you yeah, you made it to the end. So it's sort of a good thing, but also, you know, maybe we're living through the worst times of our life right now and we don't even realise it. You shrug. What else can you do? Have I told you to see a therapist yet? If I haven't told you that, I'm telling you now. Go see a therapist. So and Lucia nodding in agreement. Is this an intervention? Oh, damn, if I'd known this conversation would lead down that road, I would have just gone and sat in my car. Yeah, sure. Her mood seems to have shifted. Lucia, I saw you and Des talking in your backyard earlier today. What were you talking about? Oh shit. Lucia's about to tell the truth. Goddamn her honesty. I'm glad you asked, Jessie. It was quite a spectacle. Shame nobody was there to witness me act. Let's let her tell the story because it's funny. You look at your feet and await the embarrassment. You can take it. It was quite fun. We did a little role play scenario. I was Susie, Des's ex-wife. Des was Des. I'll say this right off the bat. He's an amazing actor. Yeah, we believed that shit. We literally got transported into another realm. I was fully present. I wasn't acting. That's for sure. That's the next step of your career, Des. Acting. Beats accounting. You're not entirely opposed to the idea. Anyway, we pretended to have dinner together. It was terribly romantic. Jesus. Hearing the scenario explained makes it sound insane. Ooh, it sounds lovely. Wish I was there. Very much so. And to be honest, I enjoyed playing a younger person. It was oddly liberating, if that's the right word. I need to try this Des roleplay with me. Some other time maybe. We'll tuck it out today. Oh, okay. She makes an exaggerated frown. La la la, I'm not hearing any of this. What? Role-playing? Oh my god, people. Hello? Erotic implications. Get your mind out of the gutter. This is a completely different thing. What the hell was I on when I was writing this? This is some weird shit. Hey, but weird shit is good. You were hoping nobody would bring up the erotic undertones. Guess it had to happen eventually. Yeah, this is weird shit. Alright, just saying, you're a bunch of sickos. At least Jessie. I'm like, I had to have someone who was normal in this conversation. This prompts a laugh out of Lucia. It's reassuring to know that she can find some humour in the situation. Perhaps Jessie is right, Des. We're causing a stir. We'd better keep our little roleplay thingy under wraps. What would the people of Aurora think if they knew? Imagine the rumours. You're not uncomfortable, not at all. Oh, enough of that. 'Tis not befitting of a woman of my stature. Yes, indeed. She rubs her chin regally. So, you did a lot of talking and nothing more. Did you tell me about the water tower incident? No, I didn't. The water tower incident. Incidents are scary. Spill the beans. Now's your chance to tell me. Okay. I didn't mention it earlier because it's a little odd. Would you call it a ghost story, Jesse? I guess it's kind of supernatural. Calling it an incident sells it short. Your anticipation builds. You love supernatural stories. You love them even more when they're being told to you in the dead of night. Oh yeah. You know that water tower over there? The big white pole looking thing? I like that you can say no here even though like it's actually the biggest object in town. But yeah, we saw it. The white thing beside the church, yeah, I saw it. Okay, good. That's where this story takes place. You never envisioned that area of the town being home to anything supernatural. Your senses are out of whack. The water tower is where the ghost resides, allegedly. Yeah. This sounds amazing. Don't get so excited. Wait till I finish the story before you form any kind of opinion. Shut your mouth. You know what, Jesse, you tell the story. You're better at making it sound exciting. I'm afraid I'll be boring. Jesse is elated. Yes, thanks, Lucia. I thought you'd never ask. She jumps up and rubs her hands together. I love this shot. And I put like a spotlight on the water tower because if there was no spotlight there, it'd just be like you wouldn't even be able to see it. So I've kind of exaggerated the lighting for this scene just for that. But it looks funny. It looks good. I don't like how the skybox looks though, because when you put a really low FOV on the camera, it zooms the skybox in way too much, and I don't like that. I wish there was a way to change that. I mean, there definitely is a way to make it so it doesn't affect the skybox, but it was such a minor issue that I didn't give a shit. Give me a second. I'm going to make this cinematic. She covers her face with her hands, then slowly lowers them to reveal a sinister smile. In the dead of night, Aurora slept, nothing to be heard, save for the rush of wind through the empty streets, and the banging of a corrugated piece of tin. No lights could be seen in any windows. Everyone slept snugly under their sheets, blissfully unaware their world was about to be flipped on its head and forever changed. She is 100% a theatre kid. That is like the big reveal of Jessie's character. She is a theatre kid, and it should have been obvious. Of course she's so theatrical. Of course she's fucking doing art exhibits all across the town. She's a theatre kid. Finding out someone is a theatre kid just always explains so much about them. Which isn't a bad thing, because I feel like somebody's got to be fucking dramatic. Don't want a world filled with emotionless bloody zombies. At least the theatre kids are interesting. Something was brewing in the air that fateful night. Something otherworldly, supernatural, ghastly. You're going a little overboard here. It's not that crazy. Shh, I'm telling the story. Don't kill my vibe. Fine, I'll be quiet. I have a feeling this is going to be very long-winded. Where was I? Oh, over at the water tower, something happened. Something that nobody was present to witness. And what a shame it was. Were any of us awake, we may have seen the face of God, or perhaps found the meaning of life. Not a thing was seen, I'm afraid, but something was heard. Something terrible. The scream of a woman, prolonged and piercing. It woke the entire town up, including myself. Note, I will be telling this story from my perspective to save on confusion. Yeah, let's just skip to the end because this is a very long story. Jesse, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I can handle all these words. My brain is fried. Could you possibly dumb down and shorten the story for me? You're a sick man. A sick, sick man. You just stepped on a sandcastle. Fine, Des. I can dumb down the story for you. How's this? There was screaming noise on top of the water tower. A bunch of us gathered round, including the Bermans and my dear brother. But we could not see anyone up there. We waited for a while, the scream stopped, that was it. We never found out where the noise came from. Finn. Okay. That was very digestible, thank you. I'm open to questions now, shoot. Well, they just said, well, you can't go up the top because there's a fence. Yeah, what about police? A woman screaming in the dead of night sounds kind of worrying. Did you guys report it to someone? Nah, not much point. We never actually saw anything. It was just screams. Typical ghost story shit. And cops aren't investigating that. They've got their hands full arresting protesters at those gosh darn lefty colleges. That or they don't want to miss their Klan meetup. Either way, they weren't going to help us. Sally and Lucia don't seem to disagree with her. Aurora says, fuck the pigs. Yep, fuck the pigs. Yeah, I'll accept the story. That was certainly a story. Whether or not it was a ghost is up for debate. Seems like there's far too little to work with. Who made you the authority on such matters? Yeah, dude, you weren't even there. Give me a plausible solution. Government conspiracy? Nah. It was a funny sounding bird. What sort of birds we got around here? What are the chances it was just a really confused bird making the noise? I'm no bird watcher, but I don't think there's many birds who can perfectly replicate the scream of a woman. Lucia? Yeah, I don't think so. It would have been so loud. It wouldn't have been so loud either if it were a bird. How often do you get woken up by the sound of a bird? I mean, all the fucking time in Australia, but that's because there's kookaburras sitting on the fence right next to my window. Or crows going, ha, all the time. Or cockatoos. The cockatoos are the worst because they're not even like a melodic screech. It's just a piercing, like the sort of shit they'd play in Guantanamo sort of sound. Yeah, Twin Peaks did lie to us because there's a bloody bird in that show that talks. Well, no. It like records the sound of a woman screaming. Yeah, it's a prank. I reckon someone was playing you all for fools. I bet you they put a speaker up there that plays a screaming sound. That sounds like something I'd do. Oh my god, that's the most plausible scenario I've heard so far. Jesse, did you do it? Get out of here. This is amateur hour. If I were to pull something like this, I wouldn't stop after one event. I'd haunt the shit out of Aurora. Every week, I'd ramp things up until it reached a boiling point and everyone went insane and murdered one another. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe your brother? Possible. I don't see why I'd do something like this though. He's not very motivated. Suspect the least expected. I feel like if you don't expect him to do it, he makes the perfect suspect. Maybe he was aware of his non-suspect nature and took advantage to play the perfect trick. He'd be a lot cooler if that were the case. We'll ask him when he comes outside. Spring it quick and catch him off guard. You hear the sound of a door opening. It's over at the gas station. Oh, here he comes. Shh. Josiah walks over to the group. Sugar comes out the door behind him with a stack of boxes in his hand. As soon as he sees everyone, he drops them on the ground, then runs over and wraps Sally up in a bear hug. Jesse makes a dry heaving sound and moves 3 steps to her left, so as to be a safe distance from the PDA. This is the sound he makes when he goes for the bear hug. Rah. But with more emotion in it. You look at Josiah. He's standing there with his hands in his pockets, his eyebrow raised in an expression of complete confusion. Why did you all go quiet when I came over? Are you the water tower ghost? For a split second his eyes widened. It was quick, but enough for everyone to notice. Knew it, you sick fuck, what the hell? What did I do? Do you think I was the one screaming? Oh, you're a terrible liar. I saw that face when we asked the question. It was the reaction of someone who just got sprung. Bad luck, bucko. I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. Mum, what's she talking about? You've been caught, admit it. Sugar has no idea what's happening either. What's he done? Is it bad? He was the water tower ghost. He orchestrated it. Jimmy! Sugar burst into laughter, as he tends to do. No way, I can't believe it. Joss, really? Did you really do that? God. What the fuck is going on? Where did all this come from? I didn't do shit. Deny until you die, I get it. Josiah sighs. I'm too tired for this shit. Good chat, everyone. He turns and walks over to the truck, opens the door and hops in. We got him. Nice work, guys. I think you hurt his feelings. That's the guilt setting in. Punishment for his crimes against Aurora. Yeah, I don't know if he did it. He seemed very confused. Yeah, you look more confused than anything. Give it a few days, he'll crack. His face was more than enough evidence. He always has that look when he's been caught doing something he shouldn't have. They know him far better than you do. No point arguing. Are you done with everything inside, Sugar? Yep, all copper wiring has been ripped out of the walls. Last thing to do is unscrew all the light bulbs, but we can leave that till next time. He winks at you. Right, shall we hit the road? Say it ain't so. I need to eat. Start up that truck and let's hit the first McDonald's we see, yeah? If we must go, then so it is. Jessie turns and walks over to the truck. You watch as she reaches for the door handle, then hesitates and turns back in your direction. Thanks for putting up with my bullshit, Desmond. It wasn't bullshit, you were spitting facts. I understood every word you said. Don't be selling yourself short. Yeah. I'll make sure to name a character after you when I get around to writing my masterpiece. Yeah, please make him a loser. If you name a character after me, they need to be pathetic. I'm talking shit. It's complete shit. That is all I ask. I was already planning on doing that. See ya. Josiah opens the truck door and pokes his head out so that he can wave to you, then notices Jessie standing below him. I got window seat. Fuck off. The two of them disappear into the cab of the truck, but you can hear the argument continue, albeit muffled. That'd be our cue to say goodbye as well. Des, it was a pleasure to meet you. Sorry about everything that's happened today. You'll figure it out eventually. Everyone has their moment. Yeah. Nice to meet you as well. Thanks for letting me in that tornado shelter. Thanks for listening. Thanks for, you get the idea. Safe travels. She nods and steps back so that Sugar can get his moment in the spotlight. Des, I'm gonna miss you, damn it. Bring it in. He opens his arms and beckons you toward him. You have no choice to oblige. Not that you'd ever refuse a hug. Yeah, you already got a hug. Now let's heal. You step forward and wrap your arms around him. He's about a foot taller than you. Feels like hugging your dad. You never hugged your dad. You don't know what it feels like. Sugar pats you on the back a few times and lets up. You step back with a tear in your eye. Somehow that was even more beautiful than the first hug. Life's got something good in store for you, Des. Goodbye. He stands around for a few more seconds as though he isn't sure what's supposed to happen next. Sally taps him on the shoulder and motions toward the truck. Yep, let's get this show on the road. Finally, they both walk in that direction, give you one final wave, and climb into the cab, never to be seen again. The truck starts and rolls forward over the curb. Midway through pulling out, the driver slams on the brakes. Sugar sticks his head out the driver's side window. Bye-bye, Lucia. And that's that. The truck disappears into the night. Goodness, that was dramatic. I'd say you made an impression on them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not all that special. Can't figure out what I did to make them give a shit about me. It might just be one of those people. Heart of gold. People gravitate toward people like that. Except the only person that mattered. You both stand there under the street lamp. What now, you think to yourself? This is a strange situation. You've got that same feeling you get when you walk out of the movie theatre after watching something amazing. The real world just seems so mundane and uninteresting. Take me back to that place where the people are funny and the world is beautiful. I wonder is that a universal feeling where you just leave the theatre and like you go back to your fucking shitty, just uninteresting life, which it's not uninteresting, or it might be, but like just compared to what you've just seen, it just feels so inconsequential and insignificant, and you feel really small. And it's like a short-lived feeling. You go home and then, yeah, you feel indifferent to it again. But I don't know. Even for like movies that aren't good, that I get that feeling. It's weird. The chair looks at you and smiles politely. You guess she's probably just going to wait around until the tow truck arrives. Part of you wishes she wouldn't. She taps the heel on the edge of the gutter. You look behind her toward the abandoned storefronts. There's something haunting about places like these. In their heyday, they might have been bustling. People in and out on a regular basis. There would have been light in the windows, an open sign on the door, a ringing bell as it opened and closed. Now that's all that's left is a fading husk. You try not to let it get you down. Lord knows you've got enough shit getting you down. An abandoned row of shops ruining your mood is bordering on absurdity. Do you remember how long the tow truck person said they'd be? An hour? Yeah, a fucking hour. It's been like 8. She said an hour, And she said it as though that would be the maximum. Right now we're sitting at around 7 hours. I hope they didn't forget about you. Actually, I have an idea. I'll go call them for you. I'll turn on my angry phone voice and put the fear of God in them. At this hour? It's pretty late. You sure they'll answer at this hour? Was it Longhorn Towing you called? Mm-hmm. Then they'll answer. They're around the clock. Convenient. Yeah, very convenient. AKA, oh shit, why I've written this game into like a corner of when the hell's the tow truck coming and it never shows up and I have to have an excuse for you to call them again. Well, of course they're 24 hour. The story demands it. I'll use the mechanic's phone just to be safe. You'd better wait out here. Wouldn't want the tow truck to drive into town and miss us completely. Huh. Maybe the driver already drove through town and didn't see you. I don't think about it. Lucia will sort this out. Don't stand in the middle of the road if you can help it. I'd be a little sad if I came out to find you flattened on the tarmac. She'd be sad if you died. That's nice. Alright, I'll only be a minute. Maybe more if they give me a lip. She smiles and walks over the road to the mechanics, then steps inside and closes the door behind her. You're all alone now. How does it feel? Very lonely. Human contact is nice, isn't it? Especially when you like humans you come into contact with. Don't have any reservations about that statement. Hey, seeing as, what the fuck is that? Yeah, what the fuck is that? Was that a meteor? A trail of fire flies across your field of view and crashes down into the road behind Ernest's house. Rapture! Nuclear holocaust! That line only appears if you do that conversation with the roadwork sign. I don't know what it says otherwise. You take a moment to catch your breath. That scared the absolute shit out of you, almost literally. This is the end. Finally. Okay. Let's keep a level head. Cool, calm, collected. Go over and see where it landed. See the truth with your own eyes. Brace yourself. You look around the street to see if anyone else has come outside. Nobody has. It's as if you're the only person to see or hear what just happened. This is your discovery. Don't tell anyone about it yet. Wait until you've scouted the crash site and identified the object. Yeah, what about Lichia? Let her work her magic on the phone and you do your thing with the crash object doodad, yeah? The voice in your head is adamant about this. You're not going to change your mind. Yep. You face the road beside Ernest's house and walk. What awaits you? Only God knows. Yeah, this has taken a turn, hasn't it? And this will be where we end the episode. You know, I'll show you what crashed into the ground because I feel like the anticipation would kill you. But yeah, I'm not gonna do anything beyond this point. Let's just, we'll leave it on this image. Huh? What the hell is that? Is that a Sputnik? Yeah, we'll leave it there. Fucking. I started by going on a rant about how fucked the US is and how fucked the rest of the world is because of the US. And I'll end it by saying it sucks, but it's not going to suck forever. So, do your part. Don't be complicit. Don't be ignorant. Stay informed. And maybe vote next time if you didn't. And maybe don't vote for the fascists next time. Goodbye.